Alright guys, so we just picked up the motor right here. I'll open it up once we get home and let you guys check it out. Alright guys, so this is the motor I picked up last night. It's a 6.4. I'm gonna tear it apart because I guess it has a rod knock. 6.4 has a rod knock, so I'm basically gonna disassemble everything, get the heads prepped for the cam that we're gonna install. It's a 270 comps cam, and I'm gonna order the drop-in pistons that are forged, I believe, and the rods so we can throw some boost at this thing, some nitrous. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm gonna give you a quick little rundown on how to remove the heads. Typically what I like to do is I like to reset the timing back to where it should be. So I already spun the motor a few times. I got my timing marks all set up. Right here you'll see a little line on the sprocket, and then down here on the crank sprocket you got that little dot right there. So that's ready to go. I usually start on the end, so I loosen this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and then I do the same down here. The rockers, you can't really get them confused because the intake rockers have an eye, and the ones down there for the exhaust don't have anything. So there's really no mixing them up. Just pay close attention. But when you loosen them up, you got to do it evenly. So do like a quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn. So that way the rockers are coming off evenly. And you don't bend the shaft, or you don't, break something, because that's always bad. But you do have to pay close attention because, like I said, you got two different length push rods. The shorter ones are the intake ones. They're going to be the ones on the top. And then the longer ones are for the exhaust that are going to be down here at the bottom. Okay guys, for the heads, you basically do the same thing. You work your way on the ends towards the center and do quarter turn till you get them all off evenly, and then you can use like an impact or whatever to take the rest off. Okay, so now that we got both of the heads off, they don't look too bad, honestly. The heads look pretty good. I don't see anything too concerning, so it's a good thing. And the cylinders look pretty good. I don't see any score marks, or I don't see anything that's concerning. So I don't think we're gonna have to do the 10 over pistons. Okay, so now that we checked the heads and looked at the bores, the lifters are held in by 8 millimeters. So I already took them off. And boom. They're not bad because I guess the previous owner or whatever had replaced them. So I'm not really expecting anything major. But yeah, I'll go ahead, get them out, and then we'll flip the block. Alright guys, so I just flipped the motor. I'm gonna pull the rod caps off, and we'll inspect to see if it's a rod bearing or if it's a main bearing. But I'll go ahead and take them off, and then I'll show you guys. Okay guys, these two bearings are for their two rear cylinders, and they don't look too bad. But I decided to take this one off because it was facing upwards and I could access the rod bolts in. Sure enough, there it is, the spun rod bearing. So I probably won't be reusing this crank. I'll probably buy a new crank and go with that, because I don't really want to deal with getting oversized bearings and stuff, and this crank is pretty scored. So as you can see, got chewed up. Alright, so I yanked out all the rods. Turns out we had two spun rods. One right here, and then the other one right here. So this is one of them, and that's the other one. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take the crank out since I won't be using it. Basically it's these 5 bolts that are on the sides and then the main ones. So I'll go ahead and take those out, and then we can take the crank out, and then I'll clean the block and check the bores again just to be on the safe side, and we'll go from there.